Welcome to this emergency web class. Let's get right into it. Here's what we're going to be covering today. We're going to be diving into the future of YouTube, the 10 threats that could slow you down or stop your growth heading into 2026, the 5 strategic shifts that you need to make right now to stay ahead, and the trends that are happening right now that most creators haven't even noticed yet, plus a deep dive playbook. I've got a free report for you. For what it really takes to get views and subscribers today. So let's get into it. But here's the truth. The old YouTube is dead. And the problem is most creators are still playing the old game. We're living through a massive shift on the platform right now. Subscribers don't guarantee views anymore. AI is separating winners from losers. Information overload is paralyzing creators. And that's why I've been working with my team at Think Media to bring you this emergency training to help you navigate what's changing and how to win before everybody else catches up. And here's the truth. Yes, there are threats. We're going to be covering 10 of them. Views are down. Ad revenue is unstable. Trust is eroding. But we're also going to be covering the big opportunity that has never been bigger for those who know how to pivot. So if you're here live, hit the like button and shout me out where you're watching from. And if you're watching the replay, lock in because I've got some tactical information for you coming up in this class. Now, if we're just meeting, my name is Sean Cannell, and I've been on YouTube since 2007. And I've actually seen every shift the platform has thrown at us. Since then, I've built multiple YouTube channels, earned 3 silver play buttons, 1 gold play button, and scaled my presence on YouTube into a multi-million-dollar media company. But I've also had to reinvent again and again, from the adpocalypse to algorithm shifts, and now to this new AI-driven era. And so stick with me because I'm not only going to show you what's broken, but I also believe by the end of this training, you're going to have a clear roadmap to win over the next 12 to 24 months on the platform. Specifically, we're actually going to cover a brief history of YouTube and what it teaches us about adapting. We're going to talk about the 10 biggest threats facing creators and business owners today, the 5 key shifts shaping YouTube success in 2026 and beyond, and then how to apply these shifts to get more views, build more trust, and grow your income, even if your niche is small or your views are down. And I did a deep dive report, 27 pages. I've been working late nights, early mornings, coffee-fueled sessions to put together the most comprehensive update to really the state of YouTube. It's a complete paid playbook to stay relevant, adapt faster, and grow smarter. Practical, no fluff strategies if you're serious about monetizing and scaling. And so I'm going to be telling you how to get that, but I've created that for you. And at the end of the training, I'll hook you up with that for free. And then also heads up, we are hosting a YouTube mastermind. It's coming up October 2 through 3. In Las Vegas. Spots are incredibly limited. We're already over half full. It's a very small group. It's application only. But if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, then just apply as soon as possible. And we could drop a link to that. There'll be a link in the description as well. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. But let's dive into part number 1. Change has always been a part of YouTube. Let's cover a brief YouTube history. So let's take it all the way back. There's always been change. There's always been threats. 2007 to 2011, the Wild West. You know, it's funny, as I was on YouTube during this time, and you might be watching this thinking like, it would have been nice to start back then. There was fewer creators, lower competition, simple vlogs or how-to videos could rack up millions of views, but monetization was minimal. The partner program was in its infancy. It was like hard to get in, and it wasn't really fully developed yet. And technology was severely lacking. Like the tools we have today, AI, the cameras, the speed of editing, all the different tools. So it had its own challenges and threats. If you look at 2012 to 2016, that was really the rise of the algorithm. See, early on, people were clickbaiting like crazy because the YouTube algorithm hadn't shifted towards watch time. So what happened was channels that had built on clickbait collapsed, while those delivering depth and audience retention started to explode. Also during this time was the first adpocalypse, which reminded creators how dependent they were on platform changes. So you're one day getting AdSense checks, the next day you've got issues. It's going down, it's unstable. Then you go into the 2017 to 2019, the production era. YouTube kind of started to mature and competition started to rise as brands, bigger media companies, and creators started building teams. They started to invest money. So solo creators found themselves competing against studios. During this era, packaging, titles, thumbnails, editing became make or break. Then the pandemic boom era. Lockdowns for many channels drove historic growth because audiences were stuck at home. We have like a baseline of views at Think Media, and around that time we were getting 125,000 views every single day. We're obsessed with ranking videos and having a library of videos that keep getting views. Our viewership just doubled. It went to 250,000 views a day just because people were at home. Like, you could have said like, we were pretty smart. No, also the circumstances, the pandemic boom really drove historic growth. Now, some people really struggled during this time, but because audiences were stuck at home, there was also some good CPMs. Creators rode, in a way, an artificial wave of attention. And so we have to recognize it was a bubble, not a baseline. Then 2022 to 2023, shorts come out, YouTube shorts. TikTok pressured YouTube really into pushing shorts, which created new winners, but also destabilized the platform a little bit. So you could get discovered, but loyalty was harder to build because you watch shorts, but you don't necessarily connect with creators. And now we have pressure. You got to juggle multiple formats. Do I do long form? Do I do short form? And viewership fragmented because people are watching short form, they're watching long form, who's subscribing, what's happening. In fact, let me know in the comments, have you found that shorts have harmed your channel? Have they helped your channel? Well, now fast forward to today, and we're in the AI and attention wars. AI has supercharged production, but it's also triggered a tidal wave of content. Today, there's over 2 million videos uploaded to YouTube every single day. So there's an intense competition for attention. And those who leverage AI as like a force multiplier, those who really learn it, while staying anchored in authenticity, are breaking through. So if you're just dabbling with AI, you're going to be drowned out. And I just mean AI is powering you up for your authentic content. So this era rewards clarity, strategy, and bold positioning. But when we look at a brief history of YouTube, here's what we learn. Change is the only constant on YouTube. And those who pivot and adapt always find a way to win. The creators who thrive aren't the ones who resist change. They're the ones who ride the wave. But before we talk about how to win, we have to talk about what's standing in the way. So buckle your seatbelt, because in part 2 of today's training, I want to cover the top 10 biggest threats to growing on YouTube right now. If you're feeling like growth is harder than ever, it's not just you. These threats are holding a lot of creators back. But if you understand them, then you can create an edge. Number 1, subscribers don't guarantee views anymore. The algorithm rewards signals of interest, not your follower count. So let me be blunt. Your subscriber count doesn't really matter anymore. You're no longer entitled to views just because someone clicked subscribe years ago. I've seen channels with 50,000 subscribers getting 50 views on their videos, and they're shocked. But the truth is, the algorithm owes you nothing. Every video has to win on its own merits. But even though this is a threat, while this might sound like bad news, it's actually not if you're a new channel, because it's leveling the playing field. It means that established creators cannot rest on past performance. If you're an established channel, you've got to reinvent right now. If you're starting fresh, you don't have to claw your way up the subscriber mountain anymore. You just need to create videos that win attention. But let me say it again. Every video has to win on its own merits. It's interesting because literally 21 hours ago, as of doing this emergency training, a really massive established YouTube creator and team, Linus Tech Tips, posted a video talking about how their views are down. And so let me know if you've experienced this. They mentioned that they've seen a serious drop in views, with some videos down as much as 75%. And they talk about in this conversation that they're kind of rethinking everything. They're wondering, is the A/B testing of titles hurting early momentum? Whether too much variety on their channel is confusing their audience, whether shorts are actually helping long form content at all or hurting it. So they're asking a lot of strategic questions, which is the very purpose of this emergency training because there's major shifts on the platform. So if you're feeling this, you're not alone. We're hearing this a lot in the creator space. I saw a comment today on this channel, the Think Media podcast, talking about views are down or it's hard to get views right now. Momentum is fragile. And so it's clear the old playbook isn't working like it used to. This isn't just an algorithm issue. In fact, this conversation, they were just wondering, is it the algorithm or is it audience behavior? It's probably a combination of both, but this is a strategic shift we have to be paying attention to. And let me know, have your YouTube views gone up or down recently? Let me know in the comments. And later in the session, we're going to unpack the cure for this and some real strategies to bounce back. But let's dive into threat number 2. AI is creating winners and losers. And most creators, listen, I know you're using AI. I understand you're doing therapy on ChatGPT. I understand that, we have our favorite LLM, Claude or Perplexity. What's your favorite AI tools? Let me know. But most creators are just tossing basic prompts into ChatGPT and calling it a strategy. That's not good enough. AI is evolving fast. And if you're not learning how to master it, you're falling behind. It's not about the tools, but it's about really having the understanding and the strategy behind the tools. And this is what's happening for creators and professionals who embrace AI. These are 4 insane stats. Number 1, 40% boost in productivity. Top tier consultants boosted their output by 40% using ChatGPT 4 with proper prompt training. That was a study by Harvard and MIT. So the creator who really learns AI has a 40% productivity boost over the person who's just dabbling. A 56% faster at getting things done. So GitHub Copilot users finish coding tasks 56% faster. That same leverage applies to scripting videos, editing videos, automating YouTube processes. You can go 56% faster than your competition. This isn't kind of like, we're neck and neck. This is like you're trying to do track and field and you're running with just old shoes, why somebody else has a computer upgrade, like a cyberpunk modifications to their body. Like it's real speed difference. 133% more efficiency. So a study of UK small businesses reported up to 133% productivity gains using AI to automate and optimize creative work, and 300 billion hours saved. So AI, they've estimated, has the potential of saving global productivity 300 billion hours, editing time, scripting time, and more gone. So that's real math you got to look at. Like if you're not just kind of using AI, but leaning into it. So a threat is AI is separating winners and losers. I know we all use it. Like you probably use it. I know a small percentage of us, and I understand there's implications like energy and water and all this other stuff. But AI is creating that divide. It's just a real threat you got to pay attention to. Let's go deeper. So this article in Scientific American found that ChatGPT's verbal IQ score was 155, placing it among the top 0.1% of humans. So the average human IQ, you and me, is between 85 and 115. Okay. So it's like, yeah, we're humans. We're natural. We're normal. Okay. What is AI's IQ? Now, it's not that it's emotional intelligence, but what's its intellectual intelligence and the verbal IQ here? 155. So if you're not using AI, you're falling behind because there's just no way you can compete with super intelligence. So here's what's also crazy is this was 2 years ago. This is when this was discovered. So what is ChatGPT 5? What is like the newest versions? So to win today, you've got to master AI because it touches every part of making content. So those who master AI will dominate and dabblers will disappear. Threat number 3. Ad revenue is unstable. Ad revenue is all over the place. It goes up, it goes down, season to season, sponsor to sponsor. It's fragile, and it's not something you can actually control. So Forbes, a few years ago, did this article, and there was this kind of YouTube ad revenue crisis where creators say their video revenue dropped 90% and something was definitely off. That's out of their control. It just happened because it was on the platform. One day, You're making money with YouTube ads, and then boom, 90% crash. That is hard to build a business on. That's hard to build a predictable future on. It's unstable. It's a threat. And so the truth is this: if the platform controls your paycheck, you're vulnerable. Number 4, lazy content no longer works. So the stats reveal that 86% of YouTube videos get fewer than 1,000 views, and the median views per video is just 35 views. Back in the day, YouTube was forgiving of just getting in the game, just posting a video. Now feeds are clogged. So lazy content, meaning you don't craft it, it's not intentional. Lazy content doesn't just underperform, it disappears. And you don't need a big budget or fancy gear, but you do need a plan and a strategy. Threat 5, we're in an online trust recession. Right now, only 41% of Americans believe online content is accurate and human generated. You know, it's funny, I posted an actual AI generated short on our Think Media channel. And in the comments, even though this was fully AI generated, someone in the comments goes, I've known Sean was AI for some time. I knew, and I wasn't, but they're like, yeah, I think he's been an AI avatar for some time. What if I've been an AI avatar this whole time, since 2010? Maybe I'm an AI avatar right now. Well, 41% of people watching this believe that this isn't even a human generated video, right? So we're in a trust recession. You could take it deeper. 75% say they trust the internet less than ever, and 80% of consumers said they distrust influencers. They view them as dishonest, inauthentic, and lacking transparency. So this is a problem. If you're trying to build an income stream with brand deals, get sponsors, if you've got a message, if you've got a mission, if you've got anything to sell, you need trust. The bottom line is, if you don't earn trust, you don't get clicks, you don't get views, and you definitely don't get conversions. Threat number 6, fragmented attention is pulling audiences apart. And so think about just YouTube itself. You've got long form videos, you've got YouTube shorts, you've got podcasts on YouTube, you've got YouTube live streams. So you've got attention pulled in all these different directions. But that's if you only think about YouTube. What about attention on TikTok? Attention over on Instagram, people on Spotify, and Spotify adding video content and adding audiobooks and courses and all kinds of stuff on Spotify. What about Facebook? Facebook's still massive. And then what about Amazon? Like, half of you are shopping on Amazon right now. There's 5 boxes on your porch. You're multitasking about what else can I buy on Amazon. Live streams are on Amazon. Netflix is pulling your attention. People are on Tinder right now trying to, you're dating. Like, what? Your attention on all these platforms. ChatGPT itself. Like, just having ChatGPT open, we're not even Googling, we're ChatGPTing, talking to ChatGPT about our problems, about our business. And so your audience's attention isn't just divided, it's scattered. And if you're not factoring that in to how you're showing up, you're losing them before you even get a chance to connect. So the truth is, you don't need to be everywhere, but you do need to know where your audience's attention is, where it's going, and then plan for that. Threat number 7, information overload is paralyzing creators. You're not lazy, you're just buried. Nearly 4 in 10 people say they get too many messages. The other day, someone, because I had Apple, connected to my Ford Explorer dashboard, they saw my text message count, and my text message count, just that alone. Oh, the new iOS update's not showing me. It was like 3,576. They're like, what is that? Like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm not okay. Tell me, how many emails do you have in your email inbox in the chat right now? Who holds the record? Like, how many texts do you have unread? Over a third of managers are sick from it, like physically ill from the amount of information. It's not funny, but look at some of the stats. 38% of employees working at companies say they receive an excessive volume of communication at work, messages, alerts, emails. It's deafening. And workers face the equivalent, breathe for a second, of 174 daily newspapers worth of information every day. Can we go back to the days where we just, had a cup of coffee, laid out like your dad, he'd read the newspaper every day, got a newspaper out, flipping through the articles, reading the comics, just enjoying life, picking out a few of the interesting stories that grab your attention. Nice environment, cafe, some music playing, smells of summer or spring. Now we get 174 daily newspapers worth of information every day. And that applies to us as business owners and creators because you're dealing with the same overload. Learning thumbnails, scripts, SEO, editing, AI tools, it all stacks up fast. And so the reality check is all that info isn't bringing clarity, it's bringing confusion and overwhelm. Threat number 8, YouTube success is a moving target. The truth is what worked last quarter might already be obsolete. I'm not talking about the foundational strategies. I'm talking about the tactics that work now. And so continuous learning isn't optional. It's essential if you want to have success on YouTube, to learn, to test, to pivot, to repeat, to keep learning, to become a student of the game and stay a student forever. Threat number 9, burnout is killing momentum. If you're trying to juggle content, business, and life without systems, it leads to exhaustion. It leads to inconsistency. And we've seen this trend, all kinds of headlines. You're not imagining it. Burnout is everywhere. Scroll any feed and you see creators hitting a wall. The hustle catches up eventually and momentum dies. YouTube creators talking about burnout. You also have big YouTubers quitting. And why are so many major YouTube channels hosts quitting? And what does that say about media? So it doesn't matter how many followers you got. When you're running on fumes, even millions of followers can't keep you going. And more they're saying, I just can't keep doing this. So this is a real threat. We need better rhythms, habits, routines. We need systems that support mental health, not just growth. Threat number 10, the noise is only getting louder. Every day, more businesses flood YouTube. Without a sharp brand, without a smart strategy, you're going to disappear in the crowd. And this is the stat that's on YouTube's website. On average, there are over 20 million videos uploaded daily to YouTube. And so to put that in perspective, by the time you watch this slide, hundreds more videos just dropped. That's like 13,000 videos every single minute. So standing out isn't just harder, it's non-negotiable. You got to find a way to stand out. Being different isn't optional, it's survival. So take a breath. You might. Thanks everybody. Have a great one. Take care. You're like, okay, I give up. Like, there's no point. What are we talking about? Like, this is the most dire, depressing situation as it comes to YouTube. I get it. You might feel like you're getting punched in the face with this information. It's kind of how I feel. And after hearing all that, you might be like, man, YouTube is a blood sport. And honestly, it sometimes is. It's competitive. It's exhausting. It's unpredictable. But inside of every one of these threats is an unfair advantage waiting to be claimed. And this is one of the mindsets I've had to develop to succeed on YouTube year after year. I believe this: every challenge carries within it the seed of equal or greater opportunity. This is the winning mindset. I had to train myself to resist getting cynical, to resist getting negative, and instead to look a little closer, to see what others aren't seeing, and to flip the negatives into positives. Which brings us to part 3. Let's talk about the massive YouTube opportunity in the midst of the challenges before we get to the 5 critical shifts to make to pivot and adapt right now. And so right now, YouTube has 2.7 billion monthly active users. Now let's pause. That number is hard to even wrap your head around. That's people from every background. They're searching, they're watching, they're learning. And the truth is, you don't need 1 million subscribers. You just need your community, your ideal audience, your ideal customers. And the wild part is you can reach these individuals from a laptop in your home office, from a smartphone on your back porch. And so any smart strategist would look at the numbers and the growth and not say, oh, this is so impossible. They'd say, how can this be possible? It's a mindset shift. Now, Marcus Sheridan said this on LinkedIn: YouTube is quickly becoming more important to your brand than your website. So even in the midst of the threats, YouTube is not optional, especially as a business owner or an entrepreneur. It's becoming more important to your brand than even your website. It's where people go to research, to build trust, to decide if you're legit. And if you're not showing up here, it's like not having a business card in the early 2000s. The expectation is if you are a pro, you are on YouTube. Now, YouTube's also not just in English anymore. It's accessible in over 100 countries and 80 languages. And with AI-powered auto dubbing, which is rolling out, there's some issues still. It's still early, but your videos can speak to people everywhere without you needing to record in each language yourself. That's not just reach, that's global reach on a home office budget. And Yahoo Finance said the creator economy is the fastest growing segment in small business. That's not hype, that's data. That means momentum is still building. If you already have a niche, a specialty, or a business, leaning into content, especially YouTube, is one of the smartest moves you can make right now. It's not too late, but you do need to get into the game. Now, when you also look at the YouTube economy, if you're wondering about the money, YouTube creators brought in $70 billion in the last 3 years, and that was reported in early 2024. So YouTube is not just a platform, it's an economy. It's the highest paying platform in the game, and YouTube is only planning to grow bigger. Even if ad revenue isn't your goal, these numbers are signals. So smart entrepreneurs see a wave coming and they find a way to catch it. But one of the most important pieces of data is this article from Goldman Sachs Research. They project that the creator economy could hit $500 billion by 2027. That's not hype. That's Wall Street level analysis. And here's the kicker. We're just 16 months away from 2027. So if you think of opportunity kind of like a wave, the wave is already forming. And even with all the challenges, the window is real and it is wide open. It's time to lean in, commit, and take action. So as smart strategists, if you're watching this video, if you're getting value from this training, lightly touch the like button, share it with somebody, because I think this information is important. But as smart strategists watching this, we're not ignoring the threats and we're not paralyzed by the threats. We see the opportunity, it's massive. So here's the real question. What do we do with it? Let's dive into part number 4. Here are the top 5 shifts YouTube creators who are winning are making right now. And as a reminder, I have that free report for you. I couldn't even cover everything. Inside of the report is 12 threats, 15 shifts. It's very tactical. I'll hook you up with that in a bit. But I want to cover the top 5 right now. Number 1, income can still be up even if views are down. The right views convert into leads and sales, not just vanity metrics. So here's the mindset shift. You want the right views, not just more views. It's not about chasing more views. It's not about even going viral. And it's not about relying on ad revenue. What smart creators are doing is getting the right views and building businesses around their content, which leads to an important set of questions for you. What business do I actually want to be in? Ask yourself that. What business do I actually want to be in? Is YouTube my business, or is it an engine to grow my business? I suggest you build the latter. Now, we coach a lot of different real estate agents, and I'm not saying you have to become a real estate agent, but consider this. One YouTube view can be worth thousands of dollars. So across the US, a single home sale can earn an agent $10,000 or more. In luxury markets, it could be 6 figures. So they'll ask me, I spoke at a conference recently in Las Vegas, the Keller Williams CEO Summit, to 1,600 high-level real estate agents. They're like, how many views do I need, Sean? I was like, you need a view. What? A singular view. Now, of course, not everyone's going to take action, but how many views do you need? 1. That's a mindset shift. Everyone thinks they need 1 million views. It's like, no, you need 1 right view. Because it's not about just chasing views. It's about building a strategic business model around the right views. So meet Stacy. She's a business growth expert. She started a few dance studios and now helps other small business owners grow. And she is helping those that already are high 6 or 7 figures, and she helps them figure out their operations. So on YouTube, she's created a resource for these business owners, providing actionable tips on building high-performance teams, mastering delegation, and creating systems that allow businesses to run without constant owner intervention. So she posted a live stream, actually. She went live for 55 minutes, and she just did an annual planning stream to help business owners, help them with their mission, vision, strategy. And she does that training, and the view count wasn't crazy. In fact, the view count was 736 views. That's it. One YouTube live stream. But during that live stream, she let people know that they could jump on the phone with her. She booked a call. A viewer booked a call, and she closed a $30,000 offer. And that's her helping business owners doing around $250,000 a year already to take their businesses to a whole nother level with operations. But think about that. That's the power of targeted YouTube content. That leads to high value leads and high value sales. In fact, let's break this down. This is content to offer alignment. She attracts high revenue business owners for premium strategic solutions. Quality over quantity. She got $30,000 from just 736 views. What is the value per view? $40.76. Now, the potential AdSense revenue of Stacy's live stream was 74 cents to $4. So she goes live, gets 736 views. Max, she's making $4. Okay. And so her value per view was $40. And so that's 6,800 to 40,000 times more value per view than AdSense would pay you. And she says this, while direct sales happen, our primary focus is brand awareness. So the benefit of being on YouTube, it's building trust. It's helping people get to know her. It's helping get to know her expertise, see that she's legit, get to know her personality, get to know her personal brand. She says YouTube has been great for building visibility. The engagement we're building is invaluable for long-term growth. Consistency is key. And I'm not saying that you need to create a $30,000 offer or even have to ultimately change your business. I'm just asking all of us to think different, to shift our thinking in light of what's happening on YouTube. And so you got to figure out the business you're building, not just the content you're making. And this isn't just for big players. Even the smallest creators or the newest businesses can benefit from this mindset. Because the truth is this, income can go up even if your views are down, if you're focused on strategy and not just vanity metrics. Let's talk about the second strategic shift. Master video packaging or get ignored. So video packaging is the strategic combo of your topic, your title, your thumbnail, and your video intro. It's what decides if someone clicks or scrolls past. No matter how good your content is, if your packaging doesn't stop the scroll and spark curiosity, it'll get ignored. Here's the packaging equation. Topic plus title plus thumbnail plus hook equals the first 30 seconds of trust. If you miss any of these, your video may never get watched, no matter how good the video is. So meet Ben. He's the founder of Keto Camp, and today he's a keynote speaker. He actually just hit the New York Times bestseller list. He's been doing health stuff for 15 years, but he didn't start like that. Back in 2008, when he was 80 pounds overweight, unhealthy, and stuck, he took control of his life. He got metabolically healthy, and he committed to helping others do the same. And like every smart creator, he faced a choice, though. He had some success on YouTube, but then he plateaued, and a lot of people are plateauing right now. So as his channel plateaued, does he stay stuck or does he pivot and master new skills? He had success. He's been on YouTube for a long time. Many of you watching this, maybe you're new, maybe you've been on YouTube for a long time. You're like, what are the pivots? And so he started to focus massively on packaging. And so when you look at some of his content, he doubled down on titles, topics, thumbnails, and he didn't settle. He kept learning, testing, and refining. You see some of these, what you call outlier videos. 3 months ago, he got 3.6 million views in just the last 3 months. Some of his most viewed videos, while other people's views are going down, his views have been going up. And this isn't just for like fancy creators with big budgets. This video he posted, no editing, no script. He just filmed it in his car. It became one of his fastest growing videos of all time. Here's the title though. Give me 12 minutes and I'll save you 17 years of trying to lose weight. Let's get a little tactical. Why does this title work? Well, time versus outcome hook. When he says, give me 12 minutes, it sets a clear short time commitment. People are busy today. They have less time, right? I only got to watch 12 minutes. And then the juxtaposition, you're going to save me 17 years. Really powerful topic and title. Creates a high value contrast and a tiny investment for the viewer with a massive return. An ultra clear promise. It speaks directly to the pain point, years of failed weight loss efforts. And it offers a solution with confidence and specificity, curiosity and urgency. It makes the viewer wonder, how can he possibly deliver such a result in 12 minutes? And then it implies you're wasting time if you don't watch this video right now. And then a no fluff vibe, no editing, no script, authentic tone, aligns with this counter movement to AI of raw videos, personal, not overproduced, not corporate. And Ben just filmed this and shot it in his car. But the opportunity to film raw, even vlog style videos still means you got to master packaging. You're going into the filming. What are the first things I'm saying? What is the idea here? What is the topic? What are the title? What's the angle of this video? Because raw content works if it's packaged right. Authenticity plus strategy equals growth. And one of these videos for him have created massive results. One video he posted actually grew his email list 20,000 new email subscribers. If you're an entrepreneur, what would that do for your business? Like 20,000 new leads in your business, even with raw and not overly polished content. So this is the shift. Views aren't dead. They're just hidden behind the right packaging. That's a skill to master. Strategic shift number 3. Your personal brand is the only differentiator left. Your personal brand is the only differentiator left. Now, if you're a business and you're representing a bigger brand, your company brand and brand values is the only differentiator left. We're living in a world where everyone's already doing what you're doing. Any business, everyone already has the same product. Everyone's selling the same thing. There's multiple different choices. There's multiple different hoodies to buy, health products to buy, home goods to buy. It's endless. So your brand is the only differentiator left. With 20 million daily uploads, content is commoditized. You are the differentiator. The algorithm rewards interest, but loyalty comes from your brand, your face, your voice, your values, your story. That's a moat to protect the future of your business from being replaced by AI clones or copycats. You know, years ago, people warned me. I'll tell you something personal. I was warned a lot when I started to talk openly about my faith. People warned me, don't bring up religion. It will hurt your brand. And to be honest, they were right partly, because I lost some subscribers and I definitely polarized some people. But here's the thing, I didn't listen, because what I lost in passive followers, I gained in deep connection with the right audience, with people who resonated, with people who leaned in, and people who share my values. Now, a lot of people connect with me and follow Thick Media, and they're like, I don't really like when he talks about his faith, but I still vibe with your values, your vision. And I appreciate you being here. But I've noticed a lot of people, see, they're afraid to lean into their values, their beliefs, their convictions, and they sanitize themselves down to vanilla and get lost in the sea of sameness. So your personal brand is the only differentiator. And what's interesting about what a personal brand does is it attracts the right people. It repels the wrong people so that the right ones can go deeper. Now, listen to the data on this. 70% of consumers say they buy from brands that reflect their values. Are your values being accurately expressed in your content and being woven into your content? 75% of millennials and 63% of Gen Z would change a brand that supports a cause they care about. And 84% of people globally report the need to share values with a brand to use it. So even the brand they want to pick, they want to know that there is values alignment. So this isn't a nice to have. This is a mission critical going forward. Now, let me be clear. This isn't about putting religion or politics into every piece of content, and you don't have to even do either of those things. However, it is about showing up with your personality, with your conviction, with who you really are. Because in a world of content copycats and endless options, your personal brand, what are your beliefs? What are your quirks? What's your style? What's your voice? That's the only true differentiator you've got. Because people don't just follow creators, they follow people they connect with. You know, one of the things that we have is our Think Media brand to content system. And this October in Las Vegas, we're doing this mastermind. And this is more than a strategy. It's actually a step-by-step process powered by AI that helps you clarify your brand DNA. Now, whether you come to the mastermind or not, I encourage you to take some notes on this part, because what you want to do is identify your brand DNA and then translate that into high-performing, standout YouTube content. So this system for us is a clarity framework and a content generator. So this is for creators who don't just want to make more videos, but you want a content engine that's aligned with your story, your values. And here's the big key. What makes you different? This is the difference of going forward, is starting to create content that's unique to you. And if you do join us in Las Vegas, we're going to be workshopping this hands-on. And I can't wait to show you how this is AI powered, the framework that we've developed. It's going to be really powerful. But here's the point. Your personal brand is the only differentiator left. And before we go to number 4, you know, I've learned this. When I talk about going to the banya, which is a weird European steam bath, when I share about being a dad, my son just turned 3, my firstborn's about to turn 5. When I talk about the influence of the Wu-Tang Clan and that has had on me as a business owner, those aren't just random stories. Here's the key. I still have a strong niche and a core promise. You're here, you want to learn about YouTube. A lot of people know me as the YouTube guy, the YouTube strategist. But it's the 80% of the YouTube strategy I bring with the 20% of my personal brand that has everything to do with the deeper connection I have with some people. So what are those unique things about you? How can you stay aligned with your niche and your core promise, but also weave in your uniqueness? That's what sets you apart from everyone else, especially in a world of AI. That's what creates connection, memorability, and trust. You know what's happening in the Shorts feed and all the Reels feeds of TikTok? There's not memorability. You're forgettable. You have a viral piece. Going viral, especially with vertical, is common these days. I have an 8 million viewed short. Cool. Did anyone actually connect with you? How are you going to be memorable and actually form deep connections? Personal brand is the only differentiator left. Strategic shift number 4. Authenticity is the antidote to AI fatigue during the trust recession. People are tuning out because they're starving for something real. And that's why authenticity is no longer optional. It's the only cure in the trust recession. Raw stories, lived experience, unfiltered truth. That's what breaks through. So meet Yvonne. Let me show you what this looks like in action. So she's not a polished influencer. She's a mom of 2. She is a toxicologist, and she's a truth teller who's on a mission to help people reduce their toxic load. There's toxins in my body wash and my shampoo. I started watching her content. I'm like, my skin is absorbing poison every day. But what's working for her is not viral tricks, it's authenticity. She didn't try to be someone else or just follow trends. She leaned into her lived experience. And her channel is a perfect example of what we actually call the 3P framework, where your content is at the intersection of your passion, your proficiency, and your profit potential. So she's using her scientific background and her personal passion to deliver content that matters. And because it's rooted in real lived experience, her audience trusts her, and trust is the new algorithm. These examples we're sharing with you are individuals from our VRA program or our coaching program. But as she's posting these videos, they're not raw or sloppy. I mean, they're clean, they're clear, they're well produced, but they're also simple. No complex edits, no trendy gimmicks. Just her camera, and a message that matters. That's what authenticity looks like. It's a simple setup with real substance. She's not performing, she's connecting. And look at the results. This 13X outlier got 163,000 views in just 9 days alone. She did this post inside of our private group, And she said she had been stuck for years, but then she had one breakout video and she jumped from 5,000 to 15,000 subscribers in a single week. And let me encourage you. We often say at Think Media, you're one video away. Not so much that if you only post one video, you're going to break through. But it's like when you ignore the cynicism and you lean in with strategy and you work a smart system, those breakthrough moments can start to compound. Because she went from 15,000 subs to then 100,000 subs. She had a breakout video, got 1 million views, and she just kept staying consistent and she kept telling the truth. She kept educating. And then this video hit 1 million views. Why? Because it wasn't hype. It wasn't gimmicks. It was authentic, valuable content packaged well. And so in a world full of noise, adding value and being real wins. And audiences are flooded with content right now, but they're not fools. Their BS radar has never been sharper. Now, there's a micro trend happening inside of this point, and it's actually that stripped down vlogging is back, especially in a world of AI. Polished content is flooding our feeds. People really, and let me know too if this resonates with you. You're like, can we just get some raw, some real, some like anti what's happening with this overproduced stuff? People are tired of fake and they're drawn to unfiltered storytelling, daily life, real moments, human connection, real business case studies. So this is Benji. He's the co-author of a book we wrote together called YouTube Secrets. And he's been a longtime student of vlogging and a practitioner of this format. More recently, he's been highlighting that creators from all walks of life, educators, business owners, entertainers, have tapped into stripped down vlogging. Not just big production, just a camera, your voice, and a clear message. He posted a video recently, broke out, 4X outlier, 94,000 views. And it was a simple trip to a grocery store. No crew, no cinematic editing, just Benji filming himself, sharing what he sees. So why did this work? Well, one, it's also because the video idea was strong. He spoke to his niche and he packaged it smartly, but also it's real. Watching it is like going to the store with a friend who shares your passion. Benji's obsessed with food. His joy for what he discovers when he looks at different food and sales and prices is tangible. And he drops value. He's obsessed with food. He's got the knowledge. Where's the knowledge come from? His obsession, his passion. What are you obsessed with? What do you geek out about? So he brings people along with him to a strategic new opening of a store that, I mean, there's some definite, Benji's a strategist, and that's what we all need to be, but it's the power of relatable experience and raw storytelling. So there's kind of two extremes that are performing right now. Big budget, thoughtful storytelling is still crushing it, but also raw, relatable vlogs. The middle of this, people are kind of getting crushed. If you kind of don't, you're just stuck, you're not like big budget, really dialed in, but you're in the middle, that's actually a crater for a lot of views. In some cases, the stripped down but highly strategic, but also raw and relatable, that is what is incredible trends on both sides and two extremes we're seeing. So people don't trust perfect, they trust real. Let's hit number 5. The cure for burnout and information overload is smart systems. Hustle burns you out. Systems create sustainable compounding growth. One of my favorite quotes is from James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits. And he says this: you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. In a 2026 world and beyond on YouTube, of course, my goal, let's get monetized. What's your goal? Tell me in the comments. You want to reach 1,000 subscribers? By when? You want to get monetized? By when? You want to figure out your business model? By when? You know, SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Like, goals are good, but you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. And the information overload, what's your system for even how you're going to handle and consume information and consume your learning and skill development? What's your system for how you're going to be using AI? What's your system for your workflow from how you take a video from idea to completion all the way on YouTube? So we have a goal that we're aiming for, but where's the systems? And why are we exhausted and overwhelmed and our brains are so scattered? Well, systems bring clarity to that confusion. So, well, what exactly is a system, Sean? Well, it's your daily habits, routines, and checklists. so you don't have to wing it every single time you upload. And it's not about working harder. It's about knowing what to do next without thinking. Once it becomes a habit, once it becomes muscle memory, when it comes to YouTube, it's like having a checklist instead of starting from scratch every time. That's how you beat burnout, and that's how you actually stay consistent. So meet Codell. He didn't have a film crew. He didn't have tons of time. He had a family, a full-time job, and a dream of growing something both in his garden and on YouTube. And years ago, he uploaded a random garden video and then nothing. You just fell off. Maybe you can relate. You like started YouTube, you started posting, you fell off. It's common. You went for a couple weeks, couple months. Oh, I need to get back to it. Maybe that's why you're watching this training. Like most people, life got in the way. But he actually, during the pandemic, came across a training like this that we were doing at Think Media. He joined our YouTube training program and community, and then something clicked. And he didn't just say, I want to get back to it. He said, I'm starting for real this time. There's just something about having a commitment, you know? Commitment is the foundation of all great accomplishments. Am I going to sit on the sidelines and dwell and overthink? Or am I going to punch fear in the face and commit? And so he decided to commit. He didn't just have inspiration. He had a strategy and a system. And he even got his family involved. His twins helped him with thumbnails. And he just kept showing up, posting videos. This is what's possible when you stop making excuses about timing. Is now the right time to start YouTube? Is it too late? And you start following a system. And he continued. And today, he runs a thriving YouTube channel that's called Gardening with Bear Brown. And in less than 3 years, he posted, stopped forever, got back to it. In less than 3 years, he built an audience of over 148,000 subscribers with nearly 15 million views. He didn't have any industry connections, no fancy gear, no head start, just a smart system and just a commitment to take it seriously, one video at a time. So burnout happens when you're winging it. Consistency happens when you follow a system. I get it. We talked about the threats. If you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling inconsistent, if you're feeling overwhelmed, you don't need more time or motivation. You need a system, because your success won't come from intensity. It will come from consistency. So we've covered a lot. Let's recap a little bit. YouTube's always evolving. Adapt or fall behind. We've covered the 10 biggest threats and how to beat them. We've covered the data, and the data shows the opportunity is still massive. The views, the viewership, the active users, the amount of money in the system. For the strategists, they're going to take advantage of the opportunity. And we covered the 5 strategic shifts to win in 2026 and beyond. And I've got more for you in a second, because I got that report for you. But here's the bottom line. Knowing all this information is not enough. This is what I've learned. YouTube isn't about what you know. It's about what you implement. So let me ask you a simple question. If you had a system, a strategy, and support to actually execute this, would that be beneficial? Now, this isn't for everybody, but just heads up. We barely have any space left, but I want to give you heads up. If you want help implementing and you want to actually join us for a mastermind and a workshop in Las Vegas, October 2nd through the 3rd, 2025, you can apply. It's application only at thinkmediamastermind.com. If you've been watching this and you think, I know I should be doing YouTube, I know it could grow my business, this is for you. And it's application only because we want to keep it small and we want to keep it strategic. So it's called the Think Media YouTube Mastermind. If it's not right for you, no big deal. This training is here for you. Subscribe to the Think Media channel. Smash like if you got value on this video, and study that report. I'll give you the link to that in just a second. But if you want help executing and you are ready to take YouTube serious and create an unfair advantage by implementing all of these strategic shifts, this event is different. You're going to get a strategic content plan, coaching and feedback, smart AI tools, networking and support, your full system for consistent growth. It's not a conference. It's a workshop. It's implementation focused. You're going to get personalized help. You're going to get myself, our Think Media coaches, our team in a room full of serious entrepreneurs. And so if you've been trying to do this alone, that ends here. I know for some of you, this isn't just another checklist. It's about building real momentum. It's about doing the things you've been thinking about and getting the accountability and the community around you, because there's information is everywhere. But what we need is transformation. And that's what happens when you get in the right room with the right people. You finally start moving. So it's got extreme limited availability. There's only 80 spots total. We're already half full. And it's an intimate application-only experience. And once it fills up, that's it. And what is included with when you attend is a signed copy of my book, YouTube Secrets, second edition. We'll give you that at registration. Personalized coaching and live feedback, exclusive AI tools and templates, private network of serious business leaders and creators, and the 2-day workshop and all of the materials. We've stacked massive value into these 2 days, and you're going to walk away with a complete customized strategy, tools, templates, and connections. Real people, real results. It's happening in Las Vegas, October 2, 2nd, and 3rd, limited to 80 seats, but application is required. We're thoughtful about who's in the room because I've learned that the circle that you're in, the room you're in, there's a lot of cynicism out there. And I don't blame people, but when you get around people that see opportunities inside of every problem, you begin to think different. We all got problems. You've got a lot of problems right now, a lot of challenges. When you get around people who are solving those problems, positive, ambitious, optimistic, and strategic content creators and entrepreneurs. And it's really cool because we do breakout sessions at tables. You get to meet with the professionals at Think Media who do packaging. You know, we are a team of YouTube scientists and YouTube strategists now. We have different tables where we talk about titles, packaging, thumbnails, workshop your stuff, workshop your personal brand. Let's figure out your brand DNA. Let's figure out your strengths and how to turn those brand distinctives into a content plan so you can break through the noise. We want to make sure it's the right fit for you. It's definitely not for everybody. The room is intentionally small, but if you're serious, it might be exactly what you need right now to get momentum and start growing. So you could go to thinkmediamastermind.com, and I think you've seen it. The old YouTube is dead, but your next chapter starts here. And if you want to write that next chapter together, this is your chance to get a strategy that works now and will still work in 2026. And you can grab 2 things. You can get access to that free report, 12 threats. We only covered 10. You know, there's a couple more, but there's 15 shifts, and that's entirely free. I've put, I don't even know how many countless hours into that, myself, the Think Media team. We coach so many business owners and creators, so we also get a lot of feedback and data from our community. And so you can get access to that report for free. And then if you want to apply for the mastermind, that is on screen as well for you. And I want to answer just a couple of questions. And actually, thanks for some of these super chats here. Tommy, thank you so much. Really grateful for you. Tommy, $5 super chat. Appreciate you. And if you did get value and you enjoy trainings like this, let me know and hit the like button if you're still watching. That would mean the world. Tommy with another super chat. You convinced me to push record. I've had some success, so thank you. This is an excellent show today. More coffee on me. Keep it up. Hey, I got $10. I'm about to go crazy. I'm drinking some niche beans from Prodigal Coffee in Colorado. I use an AeroPress, grind them up in my burr grinder, and I'm sipping on some Ethiopia single origin. It's pretty delicious. Tommy with another. I'm just going through all of Tommy's super chats. This one's for an energy drink. I'm going to need it after all the late nights leading up to this emergency web class. 411 slots. Appreciate the stats and how you break everything down along the way. Thank you so much. If you have a question about anything that we've talked about, let me know. And then also, there's a couple things we're dropping in the chat. How do I get that free report, Sean? Well, you could scan the QR code, and we're also putting a URL in the chat.